I had a good time doing that midnight damn near podcast.
It was fun, man. I wasn't even expecting it. And when you hit me up in the text like, hey, we gonna have to do an emergency pod tomorrow or something. I'm like, man, fuck it. Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Because everybody is talking about it right now. So I'm like, fuck it. Let's do it right now.
we couldn't wait till Friday. It was too big of a story, and we would have been past the initial shock of the slap. So we had to. So make sure y'all check that out. It's on Twitch, on YouTube, on Gyms and Juice Twitter page. We broke down the footage like it was the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
The Zapruder film. We broke it down frame by frame and really analyzed what was going on and what we think happened. So make sure y'all check it out. It was a really good podcast. I had some good feedback too. Got the homies from Discord in there too. So we had a good time, man. Yeah. So yeah, wild week. Just in general, not so much in music. It's been kind of lukewarm, we gonna admit. But it's been a wild week in general. We gotta talk about a lot that's gone on, man. No Jay Prince drop this time, but we're working on Jay Prince back, man. We actually gonna tap in for him when he starts his new award show. Maybe get some new drops. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is the Gyms and Juice podcast. We are back at it. Another great episode for y'all. Got my man Attorney Sam, our man Attorney Sam, came through. He's going to hear that a little bit later. Broke down the Deshaun Watson case from his view. Also, everything going on with the Travis Scott situation. So a lot of good stuff. Make sure you stay tuned in for that. But first off, man, personal wellness check. Figgy, how you been, dog?
Man, I've been pretty good, man. Speaking of wellness, man, I finally went to a chiropractor, man.
Okay.
So I've been having some neck and back pain. And I decided to go, man. I hit up my dude, Dr. Pittman, for Pittman Chiropractic and Wellness. And he did a good job, man. I'm gonna go to him like twice a week. So, trying to, get my body back right. So I could feel more comfortable and not walk around in pain and all that stuff. I'm too young to be walking around in pain. So,
I mean, especially I don't think the body was made to sit as much as we do, man. That's one of the issues too, dog. Like we were not made to sit this long. So, and that's one of the issues I've been having. Like not necessarily chiropractor, but I'm trying to get myself back into shape, man. Because I got a straight up office job where I just sit all day. And I got to fight to get back in shape now. I used to not have to fight this hard, but I'm fighting now. So
yeah, man. Yeah. So shout out to Pittman Chiropractic and Wellness. Make sure you hit them up, man. 346-774-2887. Or you could go to pcawellness.com and let them know Figgy sent you. Is good dude, man. Dr. Pittman from originally from Louisiana. He got that Louisiana accent. Super cool, man. I think he actually played in the NFL briefly. So he's super cool, man. Tell him I sent you. Get yourself together, man.
Yeah, y'all make sure. I think we have an older audience. A lot of people don't want to go to a doctors or chiropractors. They think I'm just gonna stretch and work it out. Why are you wearing sunglasses? Don't worry about it. 100% true. Okay, that's what you want to do. Okay.
Yeah,
that's why you ain't got no profile picture on your YouTube. What you hiding, man? Huh?
So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just wearing these glasses. Sometimes the light be too damn bright. So I'm not that asshole that just be walking around with sunglasses.
Don't explain yourself, Figgy. Don't explain yourself. Okay, you do what you want to do, man. Let these people judge all they want. I don't respect nobody who hide behind the blank face YouTube, man. I'm sorry. Shout out to you. Thanks for watching, but still, I don't fuck with people judging us when you ain't got no picture for us to judge you. Okay, it's got to go back and forth. But anyway,
you say great response. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody watching. We live now on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. So yeah, make sure if you ain't got nothing going on a Friday night, just kick it with us, man. You could ask us whatever you want, chime in, whatever topic you want to talk about, we'll talk about. So yeah, make sure y'all check us out on the Twitch and YouTube and Twitter tip. And yeah, just kick it with us sometime,
The
man.
gems and juice.
Okay. Well,
There we go. There we go.
There we go. We back in action now, man. There you go.
Back.
There we go. Yeah, we back in the building.
Yeah, we have. It ain't the same without the J Prince drop, man. We
I
need the
know.
J Prince drop. So we usually start with new music, man. It's been a drought. I gotta say, one thing I did hear a little bit of, there was a new Freddie Gibbs and Rick Ross song. I kind of skimmed through and kind of just I don't really care for it. I can already tell the beat was I just was not feeling it.
I did hear that song. I did
you
listen
like it?
It wasn't a tip to me. That's not a type of song I look for with Freddie Gibbs, man. I think Freddie Gibbs been on such a tear with the Alchemist beats and the Mad Libs and stuff like that. I just wasn't expecting to hear that. That sounds like some damn 2012 Rick Ross type shit. Some shit that I would have heard in 2009 or something. So I really didn't care for it. I wouldn't sit there and say it was bad, but it seemed like it was an old song to me, man. So I just didn't get it.
Yeah. I used to be. It's weird how your perception of a person or artist can affect how you hear their music. Because I used to be really excited when Freddie Gibbs dropped some new music. Now I hardly give a shit now, dog, and it's mainly just because how he's been carrying himself lately. This goofy ass beef with academics and all this silly shit he's been involved in. Like the music is still all right. It's not bad. But yeah, unless he, I don't know, it's unless he's working with Mad Lib again, I'm not too enthused about his new music.
Yeah, the weird part now is he beefing with the dude from Griselda.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's probably one of the strangest beefs I've seen, man, because it's like two older gentlemen who probably like around our age or older, and they pretty much doing the whole Twitter social media shit. It's like, damn, drop some damn diss songs or something, man. Like y'all been making some of the hardest music out, and y'all sitting here going back and forth on Twitter and all this other bullshit. So that was strange, man.
It's annoying, man. It seems at this point that number one, I think Freddie Gibbs is just an alcoholic. He be drunk all the time and just jumping on Twitter and saying whatever. And also, it kind of seems like he always wants to have some attention on himself for some controversy. So he always going at some rappers over Twitter and saying certain things and having all these hot takes. And so, yeah, he hates DJ Academics, but he's kind of like the rap version of DJ Academics in some ways. So it's kind of funny how he hates what he has become lately.
Yeah.
So
side note, speaking of Freddie Gibbs, man, this dude is on fucking Power on the Tommy version of Power.
No.
And this dude was even funnier. This dude got a crazy ass lazy eye. Then fucking to the point I was like, wait, is that him? And I'm like, damn, do he got a lazy eye like that? But in the show, the character he played have a real bad lazy eye. So it's kind of hilarious. So
you know what's funny? They all, whenever there's a rapper in a TV show, it seems like they go way out their way to make him not what he usually is. Like, for example, Kendrick was a crackhead in Power.
That was so weird, man, because that was the only time he appeared in it.
And that's the only time I've seen him act in anything.
Yeah, but specifically that Power series, that was the only time he was in it. And a lot of people was like, oh, maybe he was the one that planted the gun and everybody's trying to piece shit together. But that was it. It was just the crackhead talking shit. And that was it. Like, it was nothing else to it. So shit was strange, man.
It's silly, man. It's like they're trying to prove themselves as an actor with range by doing these completely different, like they got to look different. They got to talk different. Like, nigga, just get on there and talk the way you're already an actor in your raps. Okay. So just get on like Tupac got on camera and played himself in every role he was in pretty much. Same thing with Ice-T. People say, oh, Ice-T is a cop. But Ice-T always has the same demeanor in anything he's in.
He was a cop
super serious, deep voiced nigga.
Yeah, he was a cop in fucking 88 when New Jack City came out.
Yes.
So, like, if you could play a cop that good, you might as well play a cop for the rest of your life.
He was a hard-edged cop, which, I mean, we could use for any thug-type rapper, honestly. So
he was pretty much the same cop. So the same detective he is in Law and Order is the same one he was in fucking New Jack City.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he got a little cleaner as the years went on, but when they brought him on Law and Order, he was like that edgy, crooked kind of cop.
Yeah, he's a hard-edged cop from the streets who knows the city. And, he don't listen to his white superiors because he knows what's really going down in the hood. So, yeah, man, people need to stop hating on. I don't know. Rappers just need to stop trying to go way out their range and just stick to what you know. Okay, it's okay to play yourself in every role because that's what you're best at playing. But I digress, man. There was some other new music that came out. Dreamville, your favorite label, right next to Death Row. Dreamville, with the most exciting rappers in the game right now. J. Cole's label Dreamville dropped a new DJ drama mixtape, which I guess has now become a thing again ever since Tyler the Creator made one. Figgy, you said you did listen to it. What is your take on it?
My take on it, I think we reviewed the last Dreamville project the last time they dropped. And I want to go back to what I said because I feel like I'm about to say the same thing now. So I listened to this project and it wasn't a bad project at all. My only issue with this project is I feel like half the people on this album, I don't even know who they are. So it's kind of like, all right, like this sound cool, but who is this guy? Like, I don't know who this guy is. And I'm not sure if I should know who they are because, we in tune with everything. We review music all the time. Hell, I feel like we review music we never even heard before, artists we never heard before, just to kind of, stay fresh. But it was a lot of people on here. I'm like, damn, who is this? And it was cool, but not really cool enough where I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know who this is, but this is hard. It seemed like the production on there was cool, but it seemed like it was a little older, if that makes sense. It don't seem like it was kind of up to date. It seemed like some older J. Cole production. And which is not really a bad thing. But I'm not sure, man, because look, I don't think this project was terrible at all. But it seemed like to me what gave it away for me was DJ Drama. You know how DJ Drama is. If he gonna link up with Fabulous and do a mixtape, he gonna be talking shit with Fab the whole time. Like, yeah, my nigga Fab, yeah, we in Brooklyn right now. It seemed like during this mixtape, it seemed like DJ Drama couldn't really talk his shit because he didn't really know the motherfuckers that was on the project. Like he mentioned Earth Game a couple times. He mentioned J. Cole and Ari Lennox and stuff like that. But it seemed like most of the time he was just kind of like, yeah, we coming soon. He was just generic. Like, he was super generic.
Drama sound bites.
He was super generic to the point. I'm like, man, like maybe he shouldn't have been on this. Maybe they just should have released it as a mixtape and call it a day. Because it seemed like he was kind of struggling because he didn't know. Just imagine if he decides to get on or decides to do a mixtape for me. He don't know me at all. So he probably gonna be super generic. He probably gonna say my nigga Ficky Fig and keep it as that. So I was a little underwhelmed by his performance on there. But I was thinking maybe it was because he didn't really, know him or vibe with him like that. It would have been different if it was a J. Cole mixtape. If it was just strictly J. Cole, then that could have been a little different. But Yeah, man. I think that's what it was, man. But like I said, I think the mixtape was okay. Maybe I need to do a better job at getting to know these gentlemen, and maybe I can understand a little more. But it just seemed like it was a album full of unsigned artists.
Yeah, we got some a Twitch commentary. Man, Jay over here said it was fire. It's a cold world, and Cole put him on his back. I mean, of course he did. I'm like, come on, Cole's the only known rapper in that group on his label. So, oh yeah, Jay, we got a. If you're single, we have a lovely lady you might want to meet. You know, her name is Jasmine, and she's also a huge J. Cole fan. I think she has similar reactions. Maybe y'all can talk about J. Cole's bars and go to sleep tonight. But
but yeah, I think if I was to make a change to this mixtape, I guess one of the things I was a little disappointed, it should have been way more J. Cole on this. I think if J. Cole was more on this album, I think it could have been better. But I want to say he was only on like maybe 3 songs. He wasn't on here a lot. So he was on 1, he was on 2. I want to say he was on maybe 3 songs on this whole entire project. And you know, as a guy who liked J. Cole, I want to hear some J. Cole. You know what I mean? When you're a fan of Kendrick and he put out that Black Panther album soundtrack, you kind of heard Kendrick throughout it, even if he wasn't on the song. I didn't feel this way on here. So I think that was, if I could change anything, I would probably say Kendrick or J. Cole should have been on more of these songs. And I think that probably could have helped the album a little bit. But you only got like 3, you got 3 verses pretty much from J. Cole throughout this whole album. And so I think that's the part that kind of messed it up a little bit.
But do you think that was intentional? Maybe he wants to put the spotlight more on people on his label, more so than himself. Because look, if you have J. Cole, I guess that would be a better way to get everybody to listen to every song. Man, say he's married. My bad, man. I mean, we all done stepped out and had entanglements. I'm just playing. But
shout out to wifey, man.
Yeah,
shout out to marriage.
Yeah, shout out to your wife, man. Jasmine don't mess around with married folk either, supposedly. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So do you think it was intentional? I kind of feel like if J. Cole was on more songs, people would have listened to more on the project and then heard these other rappers before, you know. If you're a J. Cole fan, you're just going to skip to the J. Cole songs first and then maybe or maybe not get around to the rest of it. So maybe he should have been on more just to help him out, but maybe he was trying to give them more of a spotlight on this project.
Yeah, I think that's very possible. But I think I feel like they're not at a point where they could just carry a whole album like that or a whole mixtape. Now, like the way he did it now is totally understandable. If you don't want the spotlight, if you want them to show their talent without you being in the way, like I totally get that. I actually respect that. He kind of stepped out the way just so they could get their shine on. But if you really want this thing to kind of pop a little bit, and you know, and I say, you know, use his likeness and his well-knownness to their advantage. Just, you know, even if it's just a hook or something, or you talking in the middle of it, it's like, you know, that help. I felt like that helps a lot instead of, you know, just kind of letting them, you know, do their thing throughout the whole album and you appear on a couple songs. I think maybe further on down the line when they start blowing up a little more, then, you know, he can kind of take a step back. But I still think it's a little early. You know, and like I said, people like Earth Gang, Ari Lennox, people like that, they are well known, but I feel like they're not well known enough to where they could just hold their own on a project like this. And like I said, it was other people I'd never even heard of. I think J. Cole would have really did them a solid by appearing more on this album. And maybe, you know, maybe the next project, it could have he could have did that. He could have stepped to the side and they could have shined a little more because we've been there at points. We listen to all Dipset mixtapes and shit like that, and we like, damn, who is this JR Ryder dude? Or damn, who is that? And at that point, we kind of searched more for that other person because we heard them on Cameron song. So I think if it would have been that type of effect, I think the album probably would have been better overall. And on top of that, it probably would have made me want to search for, somebody else on here and say, damn, he actually all right. Let me see what else he got.
Yeah. I did forget that Earth Gang was on Dreamville for a second, man. I guess they're pretty well known. But
Yeah.
I gotta say also the cover to this mixtape annoyed me too. Like you can
It
only
looked like
do
a Batman
something
movie.
you can only do something this bad if it's like ironic. Y'all
Yeah.
remember that? Of course we do, man. Dat Piff is legendary, dog.
Yeah, I
We got
still got the Dat Piff app, man. I still go in there once in a while.
dog. They have some mixtapes you can't find nowhere else.
Yes.
And it's annoying because they make it hard to play and download some of this shit. So I got to be fighting with the whole app and the whole thing. But no, if Dat Piff goes down, a whole era of hip hop will go with it. So they
Yeah.
need to back up that and try to put it on streaming or something. Because no, Dat Piff still got a bunch of classics that have never been officially released. So yeah, man. But yeah, so would you say this Dreamville? What rating would you give it? Is it qualified or Pigpen?
I'm gonna say it's qualified because it has some pretty good production on there. And the rappers on there are I can see the talent on there. Like it is good. Some of them are outside the box, but in a good way. But it's just it's hard, as a person. I love underground music. We have the Ginger Juice Artist Spotlight, where we reach out to unsigned artists or underground artists. But when you expecting a J. Cole type of project, and you get a lot of people that you have no idea who they are, you kind of get underwhelmed a little bit. Let's say Pusha T, let's say Clips was coming out with an album or they was doing some type of mixtape, and you get a couple Clip songs on there, but you got a whole bunch of other guys that's on their label, and you have no idea who they are. You kind of underwhelmed a little bit. You like, damn, like these guys not bad, but I'm trying to hear Clips right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's good, but if you expecting more J. Cole, I think you'll be a little disappointed because I know a lot of people that are strictly J. Cole fans.
Oh yeah,
and they might not be Earth Gang fans. So if you expecting more from this mixtape, you expecting more J. Cole, then you might be disappointed in it.
Yeah, seems like it. Oh yeah, the Kendrick mixtape with Michael Jordan. Yeah, I think that was overly dedicated. Yeah, that was about what 20 years. Oh, about 20 years ago now,
That's
man.
crazy, man.
20 years, 10 years ago, about 12 years ago now. So yeah, man, time is flying. But yeah, man, I might check some of this out. There's a Sheck West song. Is Sheck West on Dreamville too? I don't think he is.
I thought he was with Travis
Scott. Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked to I was actually shocked to see him on this, but he was on the first song, I want to say.
Yeah, I see that.
And that was one of the best songs on there. It was a hard song.
Yeah, okay. So, I might check that Barry from Simpsons song too. Jid, 2 Chainz, and Young Nudie. Okay, I like Young Nudie. I might check some of this out, man. Some of this track list look pretty decent. I'll just skip all the J. Cole songs. And I'll do the reverse of what J. Cole fans do. I'll skip all the J. Cole songs. But so yeah, definitely check it out. Some new music, man. Like we said, it's been a drought. I expected more music to drop, especially since it's touring season coming up soon. And we've had 2 years of people falling back on their releases. I felt like people would come back with a vengeance. Y'all let me down, man. We need more music to consume. We're a consumer country. We need to consume. So Pusha T, drop your shit. Kendrick Lamar, drop your shit. I'm tired of waiting, man. It's been too long. We need some more content and more music to bump for the podcast. So getting sick of it, y'all. So with that being said, I guess we'll get into some topics, some current events. Of course, the biggest current event going on right now. I'm sure all y'all are getting tired of the hot takes, the sizzling hot. And the memes are still funny. I got to say, I didn't think memes would still be this funny a week later. The memes are still pretty funny. I'm a Champagne Poppy fan, and K. Dot, hence my name. You call him Champagne Poppy, that means you a real Drake fan.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I ain't hating. Like we said, y'all come down and chat with us, man, during the podcast. We'll definitely shout y'all out. Shout out to Jay in the chat. Shout out to 100% True trying to roast Figgy about his sunglasses, man. We don't fuck with. We don't address that. But yeah, back to the slap. So, like we said, we did a whole little mini podcast about the slap. We're not going to talk about that, but we will update what has happened since our recording, and a lot has happened. So initially, I think when the shock wore off that this was not a joke, we started to hear a lot of people in Hollywood express their displeasure at the fact that not only did it happen, but Will Smith also went up and accepted the award and faced no consequences in the moment for it. You know, a lot of Hollywood turned on him. I'll say that much. On social media, it's mixed. There have been a lot of people, let's say a lot of women, have defended Will Smith's actions. A lot of men have kind of clowned him for not having the same energy for people who were smashing his wife and whatnot. Whatever you want to make of that. But it's been more mixed on social media. But Hollywood has basically, every big name has come out and denounced Will Smith for what he did and said it's unacceptable. So the Academy, about a day later, made an official statement saying that, you know, they condemn what Will Smith did and they're going to begin some disciplinary actions. Will Packer, who I didn't even know was a producer.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Of the Oscars. I guess that's why I was Super Black. Because they got the Super Black producer who produced Girls Trip. And they brought him in to boost up some ratings. Now, in the moment, he actually did tweet something like, well, I told y'all it wasn't going to be boring. But that tweet upset a lot of people, so he had to adjust that tweet. And he basically said, you know, this is how Black people deal with pain, by jokes sometimes. But I will say it was very painful for me. It was a painful moment for me. And that slap has overridden everything else that's happened at the Oscars now. A lot of people were awarded that nobody cares about at this point, because all that matters on social media is the slap. And it's basically, I was talking to my friend about this too. It's basically the perfect social media topic, because it has every element in it that people like to complain about online.
Yeah.
You got race.
You can pick either side, man. You could be on the side of the slap. You could be on the opposite side of it. Then it's the race element to it. It's all type of.
You got race, you got gender, you got marriage, you got comedy, you got cancel culture, you got violence, you have every Hollywood entertainment in general, morals, yes. You got whether police should have did something. You got everything that people like to. All it needed was some kind of gay angle or trans angle, and it would have been a perfect cocktail.
They the only ones left out of it.
Yes, it would have been a perfect cocktail of things people like to complain about. So that's why you've seen there's been so many takes. We can't even list half of them. We got entertainment. Well, yeah, we did get entertainment. It was hilarious. But it has rocked the entire world. Sport, the whole sports. We're in the middle of March Madness, by the way. We're getting into the Final Four.
And this is probably one of the best Final Fours in a long time, man.
Yes.
And nobody's really talking about it, man. Just from the NFL.
Stopped the entire sports world. Everybody was talking about it. The slap. You could not escape it. Okay. People thought I was joking when I said this is as big as like the JFK assassination or 9/11. I'm not saying it's compares to those
The
tragedies,
tragic, yeah,
but the impact it had on the culture in the moment is up there. The
yeah.
entire world talked about
We
this shit, man.
we did our emergency podcast that Sunday night. So that Monday morning, we probably talked about Will Smith, anything Will Smith or Chris Rock. I would probably say 60% of the show. A
Yes.
sports talk radio show. 60%. That's a lot, man. That's a lot to talk about Will Smith and who was wrong and all these different angles. That's a lot for a sports talk show, man.
Nah, dog, Skip and Shannon, I checked their YouTube page. Skip and Shannon got like 3 million hits on their page reacting to everybody. It was instant clicks or instant plays for anybody who addressed this, man. We even had some pretty good views on our YouTube video.
Yeah.
So, everything has been, it's been an instant money maker. So it's perfect for the social media culture. But anyway, I digress. We're getting to the updates. So other things that have happened, the Academy did come out and say that they did ask Will Smith to leave. And that was kind of surprising because, they asked him to leave, yet they gave him the award and let him talk and accept this award. So it was kind of crazy. But they're trying to save face, I think, and saying that they asked him to leave, but he refused. Now that's been kind of refuted. I believe people are saying that somebody asked his rep if he wanted to go, but it was never like a firm declaration, like leave or else.
Yeah.
So, and Will Packer has gone on Good Morning America. He explained what happened too. And he also basically, talked about how I listened 6 to 6, I think about 8 to 8. Yeah, it was a lot of slap talk.
Yeah.
It was a lot of slap talk going on national radio, period. And also in local radio in Houston. So yeah, you could not, if you wanted to not talk about it, you were shit out of luck. You might as well just unplug for the day and do something else.
Watch Netflix or something, man.
Yes.
Yeah. Was side note, I don't want to get way off track, but I was on the show. I was telling John and Landry how, a lot of women currently are looking at Will Smith as the man because he stood up for his wife, and they thought I was nuts. They thought I was crazy. I'm like, wait a minute, man. Like, no, like a lot of women like that type of stuff. They want to see a man stick up for his woman. I mean, even though I don't agree with the way Will Smith did it, but women was praising that. They said that's how you stick up for your family, and he ain't like something his woman said or he said about his woman, his wife, and they thought I was crazy for that. I'm like, man, I know y'all got a crusty timeline, old ass timeline. But my timeline was full of, hey, man, black women was calling out black dudes for saying Will Smith was weak for that. They're just like, oh, wow, I can't be with a man who think Will Smith smacking another guy because he was talking about his wife. I don't see how y'all do that. I'm like, man, that is crazy.
I will say there has been a cultural divide in how this slap was received. There are some people, they couldn't believe it, which is wild. If you get on Twitter, they were foaming at the mouth, man. It seems to be a cultural divide between how certain groups have taken the slap. Okay. I got to say it, man. Some white folks act like it was the worst thing to ever have happened. And some black people just don't see what the big deal was. And I'm not saying I'm not making a wide, I'm saying everybody, of course, are people who are more level-headed. But even I heard Landry talking about it, how, he really messed up because it's such a prestigious event, one of the biggest awards. Like, nigga, it's the fucking Oscars, man. Nobody cares about this shit.
Yeah,
but,
and then the other thing, a lot of people said, man, Will Smith, he took a hit. He just took a hit on his brand, his career. I'm like, no, he actually, this actually helped.
In a way.
Because he had a bad 2 years, man. And so just him going up there smacking somebody for defending his, trying to defend his black wife, that kind of help you a little bit, man. So, obviously he got to do other stuff to improve that, but right there, in the minds of certain black women, they're like, "Ooh, yeah, see, he defending his wife." And that helped out a lot too, even though I feel like he was, a little off for that.
Yeah, I will say it helped his public perception in a way, for sure. But it fucked up his career in the now because everyone's whose decisions matter in his career is now anti Will Smith. And
Mm-hmm.
he even announced today, actually, just before we started recording, he put out a statement saying he resigned from the academy. So
Mm.
he's no longer a part. And he's saying, he once again, he's done like 2 apologies now. He did one on Instagram and did one addressing the academy. He says he is resigning from the academy and he will accept any punishment they give him, which most people are expecting to at least not invite him for the next Oscars. So, yeah, his career is taking a hit. Hollywood seems to be very annoyed with him. Chris Rock is now selling out shows at a high rate because of this, even though he hasn't really officially addressed it either. But yeah, it's been a whole lot of debate and discourse about this, and we're going to see how they're. I think they say they're going to take a couple weeks before they figure out how they're going to discipline him.
Yeah.
But and Jay brings up a point on Twitch. He says it was probably just a time and place. It was, but that's kind of my problem with it too, man, because they weren't just shocked that somebody slapped somebody. They were shocked that it happened at the Oscars. Wow, we can't
Yeah.
wow, the pretentious Oscars. It's supposed to be a sophisticated place. We're all
Yeah.
dressed in
Elegant.
tuxedos.
Yeah.
It's a very elegant, and it's like this is why nobody cares about the Oscars because it's an award show where Hollywood gets together and pats each other on the back for really no reason. And these
Yeah.
people get on stage and make these grandiose speeches. And it's like, nigga, you make movies.
Yeah.
Y'all aren't saving the world. Yes, you're entertaining us. And yes, movies have good messages and they can mean a lot to a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it's just entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
At least the ESPYs makes itself a joke.
Yeah.
And it's more lighthearted. The Oscars are so super serious for no reason half the time. And they just now realize that's a stupid way to go about. Now they're getting all these comedians to come in and roast people. But now
Yeah.
even that's not going to work no more
Yeah.
because
They have to
a
pull
man
that
just
back.
got slapped.
Yeah. And the crazy it's funny because the Oscars kind of remind me of tennis. How tennis is so uppity and elegant
Yes.
and proper. And when somebody throw their racket down, then it's like, oh my goodness. Like they need to be banned for a year. Or when Serena going off, oh, she just out of control. Oh my goodness. Like we can't have this here. And it's like, damn, at the end of the day, man, these people, this is what they live for, man. And they super passionate about winning. And, they right in the midst of a game. And they just look, when something like that happened, they're just like, oh my God, we need to ban them. We cannot have anything like this. And I felt that's what the Oscars kind of remind me of a little bit. Like super elegant for no damn reason.
No, 100%, man. And that's why people tuned out of it. And that's why they started bringing on comedians like Chris Rock and Ricky Gervais and people just to mock the entire thing because it's silly to us, man. Like, we don't care who wins Best Picture. It don't do nothing for, like, we just like the movies we like. And half the movies people like are not even nominated.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home was like the highest grossing movie basically of all time.
Was it even a Marvel movie ever? Did a Marvel movie ever win?
I'm
Because
sure it did for like
I felt like it was like a stigma of the way I guess these movie people look at Marvel movies or superhero movies, because they the ones that's making all the money and breaking records and stuff, but yet they never really win.
like they get nominated for things like best effects and best costume design, but they would never get like a best writing or best picture or best direction.
Movie.
Yeah, they would never get anything like that. and they actually tried to put in like some fan favorite categories. Like I think they had a most cheer-worthy moment, and the moment went to the new recut of the Justice League movie with Zack Snyder. And it's like, okay, but they were trying to integrate that, but it's still, you could tell they don't respect that shit, man. And they will
Yeah,
never put like an actual comic book movie in the best picture or best director or best actor category because they don't
yeah,
respect them.
yeah.
So
It was actually a thing where they didn't really respect the streaming services. So
yeah,
like the Hulu's, the Netflix, and stuff like that. So now they're at the point where they got to, because all of these actors are going to them, and they have some of the best, TV shows and movies over these other, big time platforms.
yep, and that's starting to change too. I believe the movie that won Best Picture, Coda or whatever it was called. I think that was a direct to streaming release too. So yeah,
Oh,
that they're
man.
starting to now accept. I think that was Apple TV too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, I mean the industry has changed.
Mm.
I gotta get your take on this though, man, because I keep hearing this. I keep hearing this from people I used to respect too, people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and other goofy ass niggas who want to say this shit. Do you feel like this moment reflected badly on Black people?
Uh, I don't, man. I don't think so, because I usually, how I feel. We've been in a place where some Black people is acting a fool, and you get super embarrassed, and you don't even know the motherfucker. You like, damn, that moment on TV. We seen moments on at the BET Hip Hop Awards and all that shit, where it's just like, like you just cringing. It's like, man, this shit is kind of embarrassing a little bit for me. But I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that way during this. I think it was just two Black people. And to be honest, man, I'm not trying to call, Will Smith or anybody out, but it seemed like Will Smith kind of been out of what we used to anyway, man. Because this wasn't like somebody who just got a chance to go to the Oscars and they fucked up by doing something. This ain't like, I'm trying to think of like a good Black actor that this wasn't like, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. This wasn't like Chadwick Boseman going up there acting a fool. It's like, damn, man, we was like sitting there rooting for you, bro. Like, you kind of feel us on some things. You was Black Panther, so you kind of got a place in our hearts, and it wasn't like that. So I just looked at it as two rich Black dudes, kind of going at it a little bit. So I don't think it was embarrassing for Black people at all, man.
I agree, man. And I feel like this is mainly pressure Black people put on themselves. I don't think look, there are racist white people out there. We know that. But I don't think white people at large were saying, well, see what happens when we get them in the Oscars.
Yeah,
And that's all us and our insecurity thinking about how we look to other races. And no other race has to deal with that. So it's really annoying to hear people say that, how every Black person in the spotlight has to be a rep for all Black people at all times, you
yeah,
know, and especially somebody like Will Smith, who's been
yeah,
like, look, he ain't. I'm not gonna say, look, he's a Black man, but he is not like, I don't want to say black, but you know
yeah.
what I mean,
Yeah,
man.
see, that's where I was trying to get at. Like, I don't want to disrespect anybody, even Chris Rock. I don't want to disrespect anybody, but Will Smith been kind of part of that white Hollywood circle for a long time, man, for a very, very long time. So, outside of Fresh Prince, I feel like Will Smith been long gone from, our households like that, because he was a major superstar. Kind of look at him as a pop star. If we want to talk about music, and some of the Black artists that just go pop, and they're not even on the level of a regular R&B artist, or even making music for Black people anymore. It's just strictly pop music for a whole big crowd. I kind of look at Will Smith like that. I don't think, and it's no disrespect. He was just out of here for real. So, I just think, to me, that didn't really have an effect on me because it's like, oh, they ain't look at Will Smith and say, oh, we got to ban him. They might ban him. I don't know, but to me, like, I think we talked about this on Monday. I think there's no way in hell that he will get banned from the Oscars because I thought, he was making a shit ton of movies and he was likable. I don't know if that's the case now because you're hearing all type of shit, how people are upset about it. But if I had to put my money on it, I would think these white folks in, white Hollywood would look the other way. They'd just be like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. We didn't like that, but you apologize. You're still good with us type thing. I don't think that would have been the case if it was like a young black actor who was one of us, who kind of been in the struggle with us, and somebody we supported and just blew up and got a good movie or something like that. I'm trying to think of some young black actor that the only one I can think of is like a Chadwick Boseman that we really fuck with. I can't think of let's say
the other guy, the main character in Judas and the Black Messiah. What was his name again?
Oh, Daniel Kaluuya.
Nah, the other dude.
Oh, he played on Atlanta. I forgot his name.
David in the chat, you got to help us out. I forgot his. Wait, no, it's Lakeith Stanfield. That's right.
Lakeith Stanfield.
If Lakeith Stanfield got up there and slapped somebody, it might be looked at differently, I guess. But
look, to be honest, I'm a fan of his, man. I think he do some good work. If he did that, I would probably be like, no, like, fuck, man, like we trying to get in that hole, man. You up there, you doing your thing, you in the front row, and you pull some shit like this, then I'll be like, man, they ain't gonna let us in there no more, man. I will feel some type of way then. But Will Smith been long gone from that, man. I feel like he been a household name for everybody, not just black folks. So that's the part that didn't really bother me. So I don't think black people took a loss from this. And even looking at Chris Rock, the way the way Chris Rock afterwards, he didn't retaliate. He was super professional. But you could tell that was a business decision because he hosted the Oscars back in 2016. And he knew if he would have retaliated or, escalated even more, then he probably wouldn't be back. So I think he made a business decision. He took the high road so he can have that invite the next year.
No, definitely. And plus, he's not a fighter either. Like he's a very, very, I don't want to say frail, but he's a very skinny dude, short dude. So he's never been prone to violence in any case we've seen in his entire 30-plus year career. So, I mean, I wouldn't expect him to, even if he was in a street fight, I wouldn't expect him to just start scrapping on somebody. But yeah, man, that's just one take I'm getting tired of seeing. The fact that Will Packer produced it, like, it sucks that this happened during his Oscars because now
he get a chance to produce.
Exactly, because instead of talking about the show, now he has to talk about this. But it's not like they're going to attribute this to him. It's not like he's not going to get a chance to produce a big award show again because of this. Because Will Smith fucked up.
This is something. This didn't have anything to do with Will Packer. Like, nobody expected Will Smith to, walk on stage and slap somebody. Out of all people, Will Smith. Like, nobody expected that. I didn't expect that. So, you can't blame this on him. You can't say, oh, see, this is why we can't have a lot of black people here. These are two guys that Chris, I'm talking about Chris Rock and Will Smith. I would have never thought these two would get into something like this. Like nobody could have guessed that because Will Smith was always a lovable guy. He was always cool. He was always
ambiguous, man.
Yeah, and you could kind of compare him to how friendly he is with, compare him to maybe like The Rock. That's just so lovable. And, planning these movies and just being this lovable guy. And yeah, you can't blame nobody for that to see that coming. So yeah, you can't sit there and say, man, see, that's why we don't keep black people. That's why we don't get black people nothing. Like you can't say that.
Yeah, it's just an annoying thing, and especially from the black elders in the community. David said it would be like Common swinging on somebody. I would believe Common would swing on somebody before Will Smith, like way before Will Smith, honestly. Because Common from Chicago, man, like he been in the game. He was trying to fight Drake at one point, probably over Serena.
I forgot about
So
that.
yeah, they had beef over that bullshit. But yeah,
Yeah.
it would be funny seeing Common swing on somebody in a funny hat. I'll say that much. But yeah, I would expect I would expect Common to swing on somebody in public before Will Smith. Basically anybody before Common and Ice Cube. Oh yeah, that's right. He did go after one of the hardest gangster
He
rappers at the
did.
time in
Yeah.
Ice Cube. So
And
yeah, he ain't a pair of smoke.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, oh yeah, I gotta address this too because I know in our initial reaction, I did say I thought it was staged. I gotta take that back, man. I don't think it was staged anymore. I feel like they hit that Will is taken. If it was staged, they had to come out immediately afterwards and say, "Hey, we're just fucking around," because
Yeah.
now his career is fucked up, at least for the short term.
Yeah.
So this is if it was staged, they need to come out and say this wasn't no serious shit. Please calm down. But since that did not happen, and I have an open mind. I have a conspiratorial mind. I looked at the evidence they were presenting because there's still a bunch of people who think it was staged,
Yeah.
and their evidence just don't make a whole lot of sense, man. Like
Yeah.
it's things that can easily be explained with logic. So,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, Dave, we mentioned that he did resign from the academy. So yeah, his career is fucked, man. He's at least going to be suspended for the next Oscars. So,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows when he's going to work again? I don't know what
Yeah.
projects he had lined up, but I'm sure those are going to be postponed.
Yeah.
So,
Do
like
do
his
you
career is taking a hit.
do you think that's kind of fair for them to do this? Because we talked about it earlier. It's the Oscars, man. Like, why is this such a big deal like this? Where he got to go through a suspension. He got to, people don't want to work with him now, unless he was like this on set or something like this, which I kind of don't can't believe right now. But like, I don't understand why this man got to take a hit on movies, be banned from the Oscars for a year, and all this other bullshit. I'm like, look, I would get it if he was up there scrapping and they was rolling around on the stage or some type of shit, and they had to like carry his ass out. But it was, it was an uncomfortable slap, and he said some bad words that got, I guess that they get through in the U.S. on TV, but like he apologized twice, so I just don't understand why is this so, I wonder why is this got to cost him his career at this point.
I have several answers for that, possibly. I think number one, I feel like, and David chimes in too. He says it's almost like if your principal at school invited you to dinner and you wilded out. There's always a ripple effect. Yeah, kind of. He was supposed to, like we said, it's a sophisticated, elegant event. Supposedly, this
Yeah.
kind of barbarism is not supposed to happen at the Oscars. But I think there's a couple reasons. I think number one, there's nobody people in Hollywood and actors and actresses love more than themselves. Okay. They love talking about themselves. They love the attention they get for their dresses they wear to these award shows. They love, and you saw how Zoe Kravitz took it, when she was posting her pictures and she was
Yeah.
like, here's my dress I wore at the award show where apparently it's okay to assault people. So
Yeah.
you could
They
tell there
tried
was,
her ass too.
yes, and everybody who won did not get any press, really, because nobody cared about anything but the slap. So not only did he sully the hollow grounds of the Academy Awards, but he also took all the attention away from them and put it on himself and Chris Rock. So that's what they're really mad about. I think that's one answer. And I think number two, I feel like Hollywood never really fuck with Will like that. Because you got to remember where he came from. He was not a classically trained actor. He was not come from Juilliard or anything like that. He did not come from some fancy school to act.
He was the star of the rappers getting into Hollywood.
He was a rapper who started on a sitcom, and he just won Best Actor at the highest honor you can get as an actor in Hollywood is Best Actor. And he just got that, and he acted like that at the awards show. So I low-key feel like they already didn't like the fact that he was getting the award because he's not of their cloth. And then for him to act like that was just the excuse they needed to say fuck Will Smith.
It's kind of like if your boss don't really care for you at all at work, and you do one thing, you come in 8 minutes late, and you're supposed to be there, 7 minutes you would have been on time, but 8 late, and then they like, see, you know what, we got to suspend you for this, and it's like, damn, like just for this, this little shit, and it's like, all right, you know what, we gotta let you go, and they just go crazy over it,
looking for a reason, man, and he gave them one on a silver platter,
Damn.
And because I just remembered this too. I feel like the only reason Will even won this award and why this whole award show was so black to begin with and black produced is because people were really upset what happened with Chadwick Boseman last year. How he was nominated for Best Actor. Everybody thought he was going to win. They brought his family out there. They made him an NFT and put it in the people nominees' mail gift bag or whatever. They had a whole show dedicated to Chadwick Boseman, and then he didn't win the award. It went to Anthony Hopkins, who wasn't even there. He was asleep at the time in his bed. And Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor over Chadwick Boseman. People were upset about that, man. So I feel like this was them trying to make good and say, hey, we're going to get it right this time. We gave Will Smith the Best Actor, so they did all this, and then look what he did. So
yeah,
man. A lot of angles to attack this from. And I gotta say too, one more last note I had, because I did go back. I'm surprised they didn't take it off of Hulu, because Hulu got the whole show up, and the clip is still there. The whole thing is still there. It's censored, of course, but it's still there. I watched how awkward the show was after that, and I also saw Will Smith's acceptance speech. And like, I already thought Will Smith was in the wrong, but dog, that acceptance speech just came off as terrible to me. Like, this dude really is in another world to me. What was he talking about? I see myself as a protector, and I protected the women on set, and I protected the women who played Venus and Serena, and I protected our and I'm just a vessel, and God has called me on a mission. I'm just doing what God, like, he sounds like a cult leader, dog.
Yeah.
He sounded insane.
Yeah, and I kind of didn't like how he was bringing in Richard Williams.
Yeah, to absolve what he did.
Yeah. I ain't really like that, because I want to say Richard Williams responded, or I think he might have made a comment. So I don't know, but Richard Williams wouldn't have walked on stage like that and slapped somebody, and he did a lot for Serena and Venus. He wouldn't have did that shit. So I just, like I said earlier, man, I hate that term. I was protecting my family. I do anything to protect my family. Look, man, going out looking for trouble ain't protecting your family. It's one thing if, Chris Rock got in your face or something, and you or got in your woman's face, and you gotta, protect your family. But you walk all the way up on the stage and slap somebody. I'm sorry, that's not protecting your family to me. Protecting your family is making sure everyone is not hurt, or they're not in harm's way. If somebody coming for them, you defend your family type thing. I just don't see. Look, don't nobody like mean things said about each other anyway. But if you gonna slap everybody who say anything about you, man, you gonna be slapping people all day long. So to me, I just hate that I'm protecting my family excuse. Like, no, that's, he said a joke. You went all the way on stage to slap the man. That's like, how is that protecting your family?
Yeah, it was silly, man. And like, I really looked at Will and his actions. Chris Rock didn't even have a gun. Yeah, he didn't even have a crack pipe, man. He was defenseless. He had nothing to defend himself. But I was looking at Will Smith's and how he was acting during and after that moment. And low key, man, I feel like he's having some kind of breakdown because
Yeah,
if you look at it, okay, first he's laughing at the joke. Then he slaps Chris Rock and he's telling him, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth while he's like like his lip is quivering and he's about to cry, it looks like. He looks very emotional. And then Questlove wins the award. Then he's dapping up Questlove, giving him love, and it seems like he's all good. And then we see him in the leaked video talking to, Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry and crying,
yeah,
wiping his eyes. And then we see him accept the award, and he's like uncontrollably crying. And then we see him a couple hours later at the after party, and he's basically doing an impromptu concert, singing "Getting Jiggy with It" in summertime. I don't know if you saw that clip,
nah, I
but
did.
yeah, he was at the after party and like playing all his hits and rapping along to it, and nobody even knew the words around him. It was funny, but yeah, he was partying and rapping all his hits. So it's like that's some very drastic emotions to go through in like
Yeah.
an hour period. So
Mhm.
I think he might just be having some kind of episode or breakdown, just
Yeah,
what he's been going through over the past year, plus, the roles he's been taking on and the family stuff. Like it's been too much. And maybe he
yeah,
just finally had a breaking point, but I don't know.
I think I said that on Monday too. He went through a lot, man. I know we can sit here and say, "Oh, he rich," what he got to worry about, but this dude been humiliated publicly, been a joker. Everybody been a joker. Oh shit! And that was in 2020. And then not to mention all the random ass Jada Pickett comments about Tupac and all this other bullshit. And this dude got to go on the red table talk
Mm-hmm.
to, kind of hash everything out because this dude's clearly embarrassed. And now you got to address it. And look, man, it's a lot, man. So I when that happened, I was like, damn, is he all right mentally? That's the
Yeah.
first thing I thought. And I ain't the mental health guy at all. But that was the first thing I thought about, man, because I'm like, man, this is not like Will Smith. He not like a wild ass dude that just sit there and do shit like that. So the first thing I thought, I'm like, damn, maybe this is a breakdown because he did go through a lot the past 2 years. And yeah, man, I hope he just don't, brush it to the side and just keep going, keep working and stuff. I hope he actually get himself together. I'm wondering if their marriage is even good. Is he, maybe he not even happy in the damn marriage, and he just sticking around for business purposes, or I'm not sure. But yeah, man, I hope he good mentally, man.
Yeah, I think that marriage been dead for a while, man. They even said it in that joke they had, like bad marriage for life, and they laughed like it was funny. Like, I didn't think that shit was that funny. I mean, you admitted your shit sucks. But
Yeah,
I gotta ask you that too, man. What do you think about Jada Pinkett's first and so far only response to everything that's happened? She posted on Instagram and she said, "This is a season of healing, and I'm here for it." What do you think
I
about
think
that? Do you think that
I
was
think
sufficient? Do you think
I
she
think
should defend her husband?
man, I think Jada Pickett is probably the most toxic person around right now, man. She like everything she do is just kind of bad energy, man. Like nothing. Like let's go through everything she's did, man. Like she brung in August Alsina. That situation happened. whatever. You know, people make mistakes, people go through things, whatever. Now she randomly bringing up Tupac and how that was the love of her life, and you know all this other stuff. Like, why is you bringing that up? And then, you know, the Oscar stuff, you could tell, you know, Will Smith was cool for what we could see. He was laughing and all that shit. She wasn't laughing. I don't know if she looked at him and said, hey, you know, Tupac wouldn't be sitting here laughing. And made him go up there or something. I don't know, but it seemed like, it don't seem like it's Will Smith, man. It'd be one thing if Will Smith was out here messing around all day long, being messy, getting caught, and all this other stuff. But it seems like everything just go right back to her. So I don't know. She might be really toxic, man.
Twitter will say you're shaming black women, Figgy. Okay, you're not protecting black women. You are attacking black women. It's always a black man's fault. Okay, remember that.
Yeah, pretty much.
David brings up a good point, man. It's wild that he spent these last few years trying to change his image on TikTok and Instagram and all that for nothing. I'll say even further, since he came out, you know, after being a rapper, he left that whole street image. He's been, I don't want to say tap dancing, but you got to remember, man, this man has never spoken out on any racial issue ever.
Yeah,
you know, he has been the safest. He has been the definition of safe Negro. Didn't cuss in his raps, and he has been as safe as he could be for 30-something years now, man. Mm-hmm. And they still, at the end of the day, treated him like a nigga. said Hollywood said, "You out of here, you piece of shit, you banned." Mm-hmm. And yeah, so all that, what was that for, man? Was it worth it to Will? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think Will Smith need to do going forward? Should he just try to win his way back into Hollywood arms, or should he just, you know, I want to say pull a Kaepernick and just, you know, roll with the hot hand and just be on the side of, you know, the black people type thing? But should he just should he just chill at the cookout at this point and just focus on pleasing the black people? Because they cool, the black people kind of cool and right, or at least the black women are kind of like, yeah. So should he just stay on that side of the table?
I would like to see him go like on a post Colorado Kobe type of run, man, where he just stopped giving a fuck what anybody thought and just said what was really on his mind. I know that will never happen. I don't think that's really in him, but I would like to see that out, because you got to remember, black people didn't really fuck with Kobe like that until the Colorado case. You know, as sad as that is, that's kind of the truth, man. So he's got the attention like of, you know, black community who thought he was a cornball for a minute. Like they said that was some wild shit, but I understand. That's been a sentiment. Like, there's some wild shit, but we understand. I feel like he should just ride that energy from now on and maybe finally get that divorce. Your kids are grown now, man. You ain't got to keep up this sham marriage with Jada Pinkett. Go ahead and cut it off and start your life at another stage at this point. Stop looking so weak all the time. Stop crying all the time. Stop admitting all these embarrassing things in your book. Like, we get it. You want to be vulnerable. But look, man, they ain't never gonna love you like that no more, Will. Like, that's the truth. It's over now.
Why you don't love me, man? Why you don't love me, man?
Why you don't want me, man? Why don't Hollywood want me? Look, I would like to see him just say fuck it, you know, and say, if y'all gonna kill me over this anyway, then, you know, I'm just gonna be myself from now on.
Yeah, I will say this though, man. He might, if he did go that route, he probably won't be he probably won't be in Hollywood like that again, because you know it's a secret club type shit.
But I mean, he can't. Look, he got his Oscar. Yeah, what else could he won at this point?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I think he can still do. It's still some people that he could do movies with. I'm
Tyler
sure.
Perry.
Look, look, no, for real, man. He got a relationship with Tyler Perry. I'm sure fucking 50 Cent will bring him on the Power Universe.
Power, yeah. Dog, if Will Smith could hear you now, he would probably slit his wrists.
I know.
Like, this is my future. I gotta do Tyler Perry movies and 50 Cent TV shows. But no, I agree,
Yeah,
man. He should do some shit
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I think, and to be honest, if he do, look, man, like I know we might not be like, too happy about it, but I think he'll win the black people over, man. I think black people be like, oh yeah, look at 50 Cent giving Will Smith a chance. Yeah, let's support that. Because we know how black people are. You can't even criticize the movie or the show. You gotta be like, hey, this is black excellence. He put all these black people in place to win. So you can't criticize the show. So I think he can win off of that. they doing the same thing right now with Monique. And we all know what Monique went through. And 50 Cent, I think he made a post saying, hey, I'm about to put Monique on pretty much. Mm-hmm. He was kind of vague at it, so we don't know what that means. But a lot of people was on board with that. They're like, oh yeah, maybe she's gonna be on Power. Maybe she's gonna be part of this, part of that. So I think that'd be a good look if he get kicked out of Hollywood.
I mean, that might be the only look. David said, I don't want him to turn into Terrence Howard. Yeah, man, I agree. Terrence Howard went all the way left, though. He went too far down the nigga hole and came out a completely different person.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know, man. I would just like him to be more real, and just stop trying to be so politically correct all the time. Stop trying to be so inoffensive. Like, look, it's over now, man. You showed your ass on national TV, and they're trying to get you out of here for that. So, like, fuck it, man. Make another rap album. Start cussing this time. We know you say fuck. We heard you. Like, fuck it. The image is shattered at this point, man. Fuck it. He got to make a album with Gunna. And he needs to say fuck it. He needs to start rapping again. Like, at this point, man, what has he got to lose? I'm sure he can retire today and be straight.
Yeah, 100%.
So he got his Oscar. He don't need to really be in no big movies no more. So he can do schlock and be okay. So like, fuck it. Just be yourself, man.
Yeah, just be this arrogant asshole, man. Fuck it.
At this point, what has he got to lose now, man? Just start living your life, and hopefully, I don't know. I feel for everybody involved, man. Like, it's fucked up what happened to Chris, especially reading back and knowing that Chris dealt with bullying really bad. Made a TV show about it. But yeah, he dealt with really bad bullying back in his childhood. So I'm sure like that brought up some fucked up memories of that type of shit too. So I don't know, man. It's bad for everybody involved, but it'll be okay.
Yeah. I'm curious what side Will Smith going to take at this point. Is he going to ride with the black folks? He going to roll with the hot hair, or
I wish. I just don't see it happening.
He gonna try to beg his way back into Hollywood.
Yes. I mean, he definitely will, man.
Yeah,
he's gonna do. Who is the current Oprah now? He's not Charlemagne. He can't do Charlemagne. That's too black. He's got to do. Who is the current Oprah that he needs to sit down with and do an interview with? Maybe Oprah. Fuck it. Oprah is still around.
Yeah, I think,
he's to sit down with Oprah or Gayle King, maybe. Maybe Gayle King.
Yeah, it'll probably be Oprah or Gayle.
He's gonna sit down with them and he's gonna pour his heart out about what he's been going through and cry and beg for forgiveness. And he's gonna look sad to us, but maybe he'll look legitimate to Hollywood and they'll bring him back in the fold. I don't know, but it's wishful thinking of what I wish he would do, but I know he won't.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said earlier, I'm not trying to disrespect the man at all, but we never really looked at Will Smith like that in a long time, man. We love Fresh Prince.
Yeah, we love Bad Boys.
We love Bad Boys.
That's really about it.
Yeah, we never looked at Will Smith like.
But you know what was weird, man? There was a lot of black people I knew who were like still excited for Will Smith movies and still thought he was like, oh, Will Smith got a new movie coming out. It's called Gemini Man. I'm like, nigga, this movie looks terrible. Like, it's Will Smith though. Like there was some, I knew still some hardcore Will Smith fans that were black. I couldn't explain it. I think they just like seeing a black person at the top in Hollywood. But his movies were bad, man.
I was never, you know what? This might be a hot take, but I was never a big fan of Will Smith movies, man. I wasn't that crazy because Denzel, like, oh shit.
Yeah, you
like,
got to see a Denzel movie when it come out.
Yeah, Denzel. I'll even say Forrest Whitaker. You might be like, oh shit, okay. Like he playing this, or he playing, it's kind of you kind of raise the eyebrow a little bit. I was never like that with Will Smith. I was never like, oh shit, Will Smith playing in this. Like, oh shit, like I never wanted to see that movie Gemini. It was some other movies that came out. I really wasn't a fan. I didn't even like the Suicide Squad like that. I felt like he didn't even have to be in that. And clearly people were more of a fan of the chick. I forgot her name, but yeah, he wasn't even the star of that movie.
Oh, you're talking about the one he was also with in that other movie Focus. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I know that girl's name.
Yeah, but he wasn't even the star of that show.
Margot Robbie, that's right. Margot Robbie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to talk about that, what David just said in the Twitch chat right now. He said there's always a chance Will Smith might hit it out the park, but mostly Independence Day was that much of a banger. I got to bring that up because, dog, was Independence Day good because of Will Smith? Honest question. I thought he was terrible in that movie. And the movie was corny as shit, but he had all the parts I cringed at. I know he didn't just shoot that green shit at me. And the welcome to Earth, and he punches that shit was corny, man. Yeah. Jeff Goldblum low-key carried that movie more so than Will Smith.
Jeff Goldblum was really good in that movie, man. I think he was the star of that movie. However, you gotta remember this was 1996. So Will Smith was still this was around the time he just started getting into more roles like this. I want to say the Fresh Prince was still going on at that time too.
Yeah,
or
I think so.
Might have been right after. But I would give him a pass on that. This was something different we seen from Will Smith, because at that time, or at least for me, I only seen him in the Fresh Prince. So this was a little different. So I'm not saying he was he should have won an award for that. But I don't think it was like super bad where I'm like, man, he need to stick to comedy, or he need to, stick to his little TV show or something.
Yeah, no, I just don't remember him being good in that movie. He was good in Men in Black. I thought him and Tommy Lee Jones played off each other perfectly. I liked him in that. The song was corny, but I liked him in Men in Black. But yeah, some of these movies, man, people be hyping up, and it's like, he wasn't really that good. Bad Boys was good because of Martin. Let's fucking be real, man. Like, Bad Boys was good because Martin was hilarious in it, and they played off each other. They had a good dynamic. But you could have replaced Will Smith with Wesley Snipes and still had a great movie. So
you think so?
I think so.
Really? Okay. Because look, I mean, I'm a firm believer of, Martin probably made the movie. He was the star of the movie, but I don't know if anybody else you could just plug anybody else in with Martin and it would have been just as good. Like, I think both of them together made it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I can see that. Actually, I see that.
Yeah, because Will Smith, he did play a good role in that movie. I don't know if Wesley Snipes or plug in anybody would have.
Yeah, and they wouldn't put two dark-skinned people in a movie either. So yeah, that's a no-no in Hollywood. So yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I'm just saying, I think people talk about Will Smith like he's Denzel, and I would put him more in a category of like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's been in some good movies and some terrible ones, but he's okay. That's maybe too far. He's a good actor. Arnold Schwarzenegger got that thick ass accent in every movie, but you know what I'm saying. Like, a lot of movies are kind of corny.
Yeah, I would say this, man. From where Will Smith, I would grade Will Smith on the curve, and I know that's not cool to say, but he just look where he started. He was a fucking rapper, and he got a TV show, and probably the first 2 seasons he was kind of rough when it came to acting. If you look at all the shit he was going through during that time, he was not a good actor in that show, but he was the star of the show. So they surrounded him around real actors and all that stuff. And he even mentioned how he used to be saying people lines in his head as they were saying it. So, little stuff like that. But to see him, make a show, make a movie, do Men in Black or do Bad Boys or even The Pursuit of Happiness, something like that. I never would have guessed he would have got to that point. I thought, if anything, I thought his ceiling was just, Bad Boys. Let's do a little funny, goofy movie like Men in Black. Itch, yeah. I never would have thought he would have did something like I never thought he would have played Serena Williams' dad. Or I never would have thought he got to that point. So I do, I want to sit here and say he a bad actor, but grading on the curve or where he started, he wasn't a traditional actor. I think he pretty solid. I wouldn't put him up there with Denzel, but I think he's solid for where he started. It's kind of like if you want to look in basketball or football terms, somebody that was undrafted and they made their way on the team somehow, and they end up producing, and they don't play the traditional way, but they making it do what it do and succeeding with it.
I feel you. And yeah, like I respect the grind. I respect the hustle. And you're right. He did come from a definitely non-acting background to where he is now. I respect the hustle. But yeah, I just think people gas his filmography up a little too much.
Yeah,
man.
You can't put him up there with Denzel, man.
Yeah, I ain't having that. But I think that about covers it for the saga of the slap. This is as much as I feel like talking about at this point. We might have to put a moratorium.
Yeah.
Unless something huge happens next week, I think we have covered pretty much every angle of this damn slap now.
Yeah. Do you think he gonna get suspended and or get his I was about to say Grammy, but get his Oscar taken away?
He will definitely not get his Oscar taken away. They're not going to do that. They're not going to go that far. I think everybody will be against that, even the people who thought what he did was really fucked up. Nobody wants to see him get his Oscar taken away, but he will definitely be suspended. He will not be able to go to the next one. And apparently it's like tradition for the best actor winner to announce the best actress winner the next year. So he's supposed to be there, but he's not going to be there. They have to do something. So yeah, he's definitely going to be suspended. He's not going to be able to go to the next one. And he's already resigned from the Academy. So I don't know what else they can do except ban him for life, which, they're not going to go that far. But yeah, man, I think they're just waiting for the smoke to die down too, and people to move on to the next thing. And as soon as that happens, people will move on with their life. Because at the end of the day, this is some meaningless shit that happened. It's just funny and interesting to talk about. But
if they were smart, man, if it was my call, I wouldn't ban them. I would probably, hopefully him and Chris Rock are, patch things up after that. But I would love to have him back, man. Because just imagine if he was back at the awards next year and Chris Rock was right back up there and do some type of little bit where he's like, oh, he coming on the stage. It kind of bring that attention where it's like, oh shit, Will Smith gonna be there, Chris Rock gonna be there. We gotta watch this. And we talked about it before. I don't give a shit about the Oscars. I was watching it only because it was on that channel and I cut the TV on. So we watched it for about a good 15, 20 minutes right before the slap. So I think that could count. I mean, if they want to look at it from a ratings point, I think that could help the ratings. I think more people will be tuned in just to see what's going to happen. And, hope. And I'm only saying that if things are patched up, things are good between the two. If they're not good, then no, you shouldn't have them in the same place. But if things are good and you could probably joke around with it, have some type of funny skit, I think that could work out well.
Yeah, definitely could. But you know, like I said, the Hollywood people are selfish. They want the attention on them. They don't want the attention on Will Smith 2 years in a row. So they will definitely not have him at the next. Maybe 2 years from now, they'll reenact that and they'll dap it up and say it's all good. But like as they had to discipline him somehow because people in Hollywood are really upset about it. So yeah, it would help the ratings, but they I think they value their like integrity of the show more than ratings.
Yeah,
So they're not going to have him back next year, but they'll definitely. I think at some point they're going to have them both maybe present together and hug it out and show everything
yeah,
is okay. But yeah, until they're definitely
yeah.
gonna have to do something.
It's about to be some corny ass skits and jokes
Yeah.
next year.
Okay. Who is the next rapper, big name rapper? I'm not talking about no SoundCloud rapper. Who do you think is going to be the first rapper to make a song referencing this slap?
Shit.
My money is on Nicki. It has to be Nicki. She got an album coming out soon. I'm sure she's re-recording verses right now because she
Yeah.
has to talk Freddie Gibbs. Fair enough. He might be the one too.
Yeah, he might come out with something tomorrow.
Who do you think? Who do you think?
It's gonna be some. I think it's gonna be some type of drug dealer rapper. So somebody from Griselda or something, they're gonna be like, yeah, slapping that hard rock like like Will did or something.
Slapping niggas like Will. I saw a bar that I thought was really hard on Twitter. It said, how'd it go? It said, slap a nigga, I really will. Y'all, Chris, I'm really Will. Dog.
That sounds like a Nicki bar.
It does. No, that's a little too highbrow for Nicki. But she might do something like that too.
Yeah,
she'll do like slap a nigga. I can't think. I gotta think about how she would word it. But it'll be something where she thinks she has to explain
you bitches
it.
are my sons. I smack you in the face. Yeah, I smack you in the face. Will.
Nah, she definitely gonna have some corny punchline because she got an album coming out soon too, I think. So I'm sure she's re-recording her verses and putting new things in. So, but yeah, Doc, we are in for a year of hip hop referencing this moment, if not more. So yeah, get ready for the bars because they're coming.
Yeah.
So with that being said, is there anything else you've been watching? Any TV lately, man? Anything you've been getting into? How's the gaming journey going?
It's been going pretty good, man. So I ended up buying Madden 22.
Okay.
So I was messing around with it. I played with the Browns with Deshaun Watson.
Oh wow, they already got the rosters updated like that?
Yeah, so you can upload an updated roster because you got people that take pride and they update the rosters, and with the free agency and all that stuff, they put players on certain teams and all that stuff. So the Browns roster was updated. Yeah, Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, and people like that. So I was playing with the Browns. It was actually pretty fun, man.
I bet, man. Shit.
It was cool. It honestly felt like a dream for the simple fact that it felt like I just made a fantasy trade and just put one on the Browns out of all teams. So yeah, that was super cool, man.
That's dope. Yeah, it's funny. People have brought this up too. Like this NFL offseason has been so crazy that real life trades are happening that wouldn't even be accepted in the NFL franchise mode.
Yeah.
Like they would say, no, you can't trade fucking Deshaun Watson or Tyreek Hill from the Chiefs and get this back.
It's no way you could trade these guys. Like no matter what you put in there, because they only give you like 3 or 4 spots to trade.
Mm-hmm.
So you could trade maybe like 3 first-round picks or 3 draft picks and a player or something like that. Or you could trade 4 players, whatever it is. You can only trade 4 assets.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what it is, it's not enough to get like Tyreek Hill or Deshaun Watson. So
yeah, it's just been wild, man.
It's crazy. This offseason was it was the one for the ages, man.
It really is. It really was, man. I think that look, every time people think the NBA is catching up, the NFL puts its foot further down and says, "Nah, nigga, we run the off season and the regular season."
Yeah. Like it's so funny because usually, when the NBA season start, it's during the NFL season. So you still in football mode. And once the Super Bowl is over, then you start peeping at the NBA a little bit more, and it's closer to the playoffs and all that stuff. Man, I still been enjoying the NFL, man. I still been enjoying the all season. So it's like, damn, I ain't even that interested in the NBA that much. So, yeah, man, it was a fun off season, man. It's gonna be a long training camp. It's gonna be long until it's the first game.
No, yeah. And everything will be chronicled too. All these new players fitting in. People going to be watching preseason games. The preseason ratings going to be up. You know that. So, yeah, it's going to be an insane season. What up, Tab? I see you in the comments, man. Of course, Tab holding it down as always, man. Appreciate having you here as well. About to wrap up, man. But
yeah,
it's a good podcast, man. I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Oh, yeah. How do you feel about your boy LeBron? Now they are poised to miss the playoffs, the Lakers, after championship aspirations. Look, he's a kid from Akron. Okay, he reminds us every chance he gets. So you got to claim him, Figgy. So,
well, I'm from Cleveland. I'm not from Akron, man. Akron is totally different, man.
Look, man, it's same.
Got a whole different air. Like, do you say you from Houston? Do you say you from Galveston or?
I claim Galveston because I'm close to Galveston. So yeah, really? I would claim Galveston now, but I wouldn't say I'm from there. But I am close now. So
yeah, Akron is like a good 30 minutes, 40 minutes away,
and that ain't no different city, man. Come on now,
they got the whole downtown.
Man, stop 30, dog.
It's a downtown Akron. That's a whole. They got University of Akron. It's a whole different city. They got a whole different zip code.
They the same. It's the same, dog. 30 to 40 minutes. You've been in Houston for how long now? 30 to 40 minutes ain't no whole damn city in Houston,
Akron,
man.
Akron
it's the same shit.
Akron got their own area code, man.
And there's a bunch of places in Houston that have their own. Like Katy is still part of Houston. I would feel.
Is it the area code for Katy?
Yes.
What is it?
Well, no, okay, there's no different. Okay, fair enough. There's no different area code.
Yeah, Houston got like 3 or 4 different area codes, to be fair.
Yeah.
281, 832, 713.
Yeah.
But Akron is 330. That always been Akron. Cleveland is 216.
Okay.
Okay. 2 different cities, man. And LeBron made that shit clear when he left Cleveland the first time. Yeah, he had his shit at the Akron Boys and Girls Club. And he said, "Yeah, I love my people from Akron," and he did not mention Cleveland at all.
Look, when he returns with his son to the Cleveland Cavaliers at the end of his career, he will be that kid from Cleveland again. So
yeah,
you gotta prepare for that.
You see the Cavs looking better now. So
I know, right?
Yeah, that's a young team. So let me jump over there. So,
do you think this Lakers disaster this season is LeBron's fault, or do you think it's his teammates' fault for failing him?
Look, man, I love LeBron, but it's LeBron's fault, man, because we know he's the real GM, and everywhere he go, it's like he gets all of these older players, and they use all the draft picks, they use all the cap space, and they, when it's like the 3rd or 4th year. Every team has just been gassed out. They old, they tired, and you got to rebuild totally, man. He did that with Cleveland. He did that with Miami. He did it with Cleveland again, and now it's the Lakers. It looked exactly like how it was his last year in Cleveland. Now his last year in Cleveland, they made it to the finals. They made it to the finals with an awful team, but yeah, man, I think I would put the blame on him, man, because look, everywhere he go, he don't expect a rebuild. He tried to play with proven players. He brung in Russell Westbrook. He trading all these first round picks for, Anthony Davis and all this other stuff. Like, if he just go to a team and, even if he don't make the finals, if he just go to a team and they build around him and do it the right way, I think they could be a good team going forward. You don't see fucking Golden State doing all that shit. They drafted players that's patient, and they ain't trading all these first round picks for people and all that other shit. And they still a good team. They been around for a long time. So I think that's the problem. LeBron, wherever he go, man, they give up all them draft picks to get old players and all that shit. And it only work out, for about 3 years. And then at that point, you got the oldest team in the NBA, which I think he currently do. I think right now, I want to say the Lakers might have set the record for the oldest team ever. And I think they beat that other old Lakers team that had Karl Malone and Gary Payton on there. So, yeah, man, if LeBron was to go, let's say he end up he signed with the Cavs again. Like, don't sit here and try to trade certain players so you could get Chris Paul and all this other bullshit, man. Just play with the young players. Try to preserve your career, and you'll get there, man.
Look, Figgy, all I got to say is keep talking about my squad, our personnel ages, the way he play, he stays injured, we're past our time in this league, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Do me one favor, please. And I mean, please, prayer emoji. Keep that same narrative energy when it begins. That's all I ask. Hashtag thank you. Crown emoji.
When what begins?
That was LeBron's tweets.
Oh, really?
From the beginning of the season that he deleted. So
I forgot he tweeted that shit.
Dog, I've never forgotten. It's one of the funniest tweets in retrospect. Because everything people said was right.
Yeah.
And he was acting like he was above it all. So, yeah.
Tough
time for them. But
you could tell he don't give a shit now. He just out there trying to have fun. And
at this point, yeah.
It's, stack his stats. He like, you know what? My motivation is winning this scoring title at this point.
Yeah, you don't even get back on defense no more.
Which I don't even blame him, man. Like, fuck it. You got championships. Try to win the scoring title. So try to beat Kareem's fucking record. So
Yep, all you can do. Well, the NBA marching on regardless. So also shout out, I guess, to the University of Houston Cougars. I mean, that was an awful game, but hey, it got to the Elite Eight again. So shout out to Kelvin Sampson. Shout out to the whole squad, man. It was a terrible way to go out, but hey, it happens. 1 of 20 shooting from 3. It was very, very. I was getting flashbacks, man. I was like PTSD from the Rockets versus the Warriors. 1 of 27.
1 to 20, so that's what it was.
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah, so yeah, it was a bad. He's waiting for his son to get into the NBA. Yeah, I think so too. At this point, I think he's done everything he wanted to do. He's going to get the scoring title or the all-time scoring record, and then he's going to be the first player to ever play with his son, and then he'll call it a career. So yeah.
Do you think that was smart what he did? How he said, "Wherever my son go, I'm going."
Yeah.
Yeah, because now his son probably gonna go in the first round. I don't even think that was the case at first.
No. Like,
but now his son might be a first round pick.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm sure he's gonna be in decent health. And even like the effect of LeBron, your ticket sales are gonna come up. Like, somebody's gonna definitely take him first round. And so yeah, it was smart. I mean, you want to get your son in the NBA. He was already on the edge. So
yeah, and right now, man, I think LeBron like 37, 38. And this motherfucker is averaging like 30 points. I know we always say about LeBron, he ain't the same. And, some people saying he washed. But this dude averaging 30 points right now, man. So, like, who wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
This ain't, this ain't Michael Jordan on the Wizards. Bad. So
No, I agree. No, he's doing his thing offensively. Defensively, he's giving up. I've
yeah,
seen some awful video where he don't even jog back. He just stays on the same side of the court. I'm like, at least act like you trying to get back, dog. But
yeah,
I
he
mean,
been there,
he's
done
going
that,
on.
man.
Offensively, yeah, he's still doing his thing, man. He's still in a contention for like fucking scoring leader this season. So we'll see.
20 years in the league, man. That's
year 19. Don't forget, man. He keeps reminding us. Sheesh.
Oh yeah.
Year 19, still doing it. Just a kid from Akron. Hashtag King. Whatever the fuck you be adding. Is there anything else you want to bring up, man? Anything else we missed?
No, I think that's it, man. Make sure y'all check out Pittman Chiropractic and Wellness. They some friends of the show now.
Yeah.
So check them out. I'll be going to them twice a week. If you got some back pain, neck pain, and all that stuff, or been in an auto accident, anything, and it get you together. Shout out to Dr. Pittman.
Yeah, tell him Jim's and Juice sent you. He'll crack your toes for free. I'm just playing. I don't know what he does. But yeah, let him know we sent you, man. Let him know Figgy Fig sent the word out. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate Attorney Sam. You'll hear that on the podcast. A great discussion with Attorney Sam about legal things involving Deshaun Watson and all things Houston. Make sure you check it out. It's going to be on YouTube and all that shit too. So you know where to go for that. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to everybody stopping by, showing us some love. Shout out to my boy David. Shout out to Tab. Shout out to other boy man we had in here. It was Jay to Watt. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's Jay something. And yeah, appreciate the love, man. Like we said, make sure y'all check us out Friday nights. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Kick it with us. Ask some questions. Get some comments, and we'll shout you out for sure. And it's been a fun time talking to people, man. I like this. We should have done this sooner.
I know.
I like
man.
this. I like this interactive element. It brings a lot to the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And until next time.
Peace.
Think about you, baby, from beginning to end. 365 days of the year.
All right. That's it. Shout out to you, Tab. Shout out to everybody else listening. I'm about to end this mofo.
Yes, that's stay on YouTube. Yep, YouTube Soldier. Tab, appreciate you, man.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. I'm about to end it. Appreciate you, Tab, man. Let me know if you need something from us. And we will see y'all next week.
Peace.